And we are back here on the Nexus Gaming series. Third match of this triple header. It has been epic, it has been fun, and we've saved the best for last. RollOne Esports versus Divine 9. Two teams with dice in their logo. It does not get more high pressure than this. Which dice team is better? Which one is it? I tried to keep a straight face. It did not work.
Going to Vegas tonight on Cursed Hollow, and hey, there's a lot of RNG on this map too, as when it concerns where the tributes are going to spawn.
That is a good point. We're going to this map, our second map, going to be Battlefield of Eternity. Also has a bit of RNG involved. Both teams just trusting the dice, the heart of the dice. Genji, first banned out by Divine 9, who's on the left side of your screen. RollOne Esports going to be on the... RollOne Esports on the left, Divine 9 on the right. But I'm looking forward to this series. RollOne Esports is a team that has a lot of history, a lot of experience, have not had the start to the season that they would like. Divine 9, Jason Divine, joined, he's been a great caster for NGS. Fun to kind of cast a game for him, so that way he can bitch about everything I do wrong. And then, but they're a team that they've drawn two pretty good teams. They had a draw with Game Freaks, they had a draw with Lurk Patrol. RollOne Esports, they had their draw versus Lurk Patrol as well, but they're coming off a loss to a very, very improved Team Conflict. So we'll see how they do in this series.
So first pick Hanzo here, picking the Shimada brother that hasn't been banned. Pretty insane boss clear, and obviously level 7 with the armor talent newly changed to Hanzo. He can definitely burn any tank. He can burn any boss really easily. He can burn merc camps. Just pretty insane. Not only map control hero, but team fight hero.
Yeah, he's been a top tier hero. I know that when we've been playing, he's been picked very regularly. It's questionable whether or not our bans were warranted, but here's what I don't want to do if I'm playing against the Hanzo. Fight over a shrine token, because in those narrow spaces, especially in bottom left and top right, where you kind of have that perfect arch around the capture point, reflecting arrow is going to not be fun there. Well, it's going to be very fun if you're on Divine 9. If you're a RollOne fan like I am, we'll see. Li-Ming Greymane, lot of reset potential. A lot of poke damage, but a lot of burst as well. So, could be trying to build something to go after that Hanzo. But you're picking 2 DPS on a map where globals can mean a lot, where, there's Falstad could be up later. So,
but
they do give up Sonya ETC there. Go ahead.
Yeah, they're going to have some good merc control here with Greymane. They're going to kind of match the Hanzo a little bit, so they can kind of play still in a macro fashion. And obviously, as you said, there's insane burst and combo potential between Greymane and Li-Ming. That's a really classic combo to go for the throat. It just gives Li-Ming a free reset. Or if it's on a tank, you can just go Curse Bullet.
And I think Curse Bullet just immediately became the choice because ETC Sonya happened.
Yeah.
Very, very strong start to the draft for Divine 9. RollOne, though, not a weak start. And actually banning Uther. So trying to deny the one saving pokes. This is very, very much going to be a focus on, I think, a single target blow up. So I wouldn't be too surprised if we even saw something like a Diablo coming out from RollOne Esports. I know it's a hero that they're comfortable on, but if I'm Divine 9, I think, maybe they want Diablo, and then I look at their profile history, and then I say, oh look, they play a lot of Diablo, and then I ban Diablo. Let's see if they think like Smiley.
Yeah. But those two frontliners are not only a great combo, but just great in general. They're just, Sonya with the frontline blow potential, even like a backline blow potential if they're out of position, and ETC with just insane crowd control, disruption, engage. He has so much, even for compared to any tank, he has so much, and you can just utilize it really well on this map, even stage dive.
Now that Stitches ban is interesting. Stitches can actually be good on this map with the Putrid Bile at boss control. Also, pickoffs on this map can mean a lot because there's a lot of map space to control. So anytime you lose pickoff, you lose potentially a boss, you lose potentially a camp, but you lose a lot of lane pressure. They're trying to avoid that kind of one blow up. They were thinking maybe that you'd have a Stitches, maybe Gorge and Run or a Putrid Bile just to isolate out one target. I would be very surprised if RollOne didn't take Diablo at some point. They don't need to take it now. Because, you're not going to see Divine 9 pick up Diablo at this point. So do you maybe grab your support, something like a Lucio, who can be very strong here to allow that Greymane dive, single target blow up, and counter engage? Or, do you go into a Rhaegar for the lane control and the Ancestral? Let's see. It's going to be Kharazim Leoric. I'm smelling Entomb.
I can see that for sure, but I don't know. Hanzo is the only
strong.
backliner, and Hanzo is the only backliner they have so far, and he can just jump over it with his natural agility, I think it's called, his D.
Well,
so maybe
what I'm thinking is Entomb, and even if you just get Sonya, you have 7-sided, you have Curse Bullet, and you have Li Ming.
Yeah.
And this is something that last season as Dad Force Esports, they actually did a lot of. They did a lot of single target kind of blow up style. Let's see if this gets anticipated. Do we maybe see something like... I don't really want to see an Ariel, but I was thinking Crystal Aegis. Do we see... I mean, Lucio's on the table, and Lucio pairs extremely well with ETC and Sonya. I think you'd see Lucio and then another range DPS. There's the Lucio. Maybe,
Lucio with
Falstad. Okay, I like both those picks. Because you have, when the Entomb comes in, what do? Mighty Gust. Mighty Gust.
That's true.
Yeah. And if Falstad gets Entombed, Barrel Roll. So Hanzo has an escape. Great. And there's a Tyrael. I love the Tyrael pick. Oh, wow. And solid gold Leoric. PogChamp, boys. Solid fucking gold Leoric. Can't wait. That's my favorite part of this matchup. What was the rest to draft again?
Just do for the skins, man.
I need that solid gold Leoric skin. Feels amazing, man. Well, with that, I like both these drafts a lot. What are your thoughts?
Personally, I give the edge to Divine 9 here, just because I think Tyrael, yes, he brings a lot of boss control. Like, Holy Ground is basically a free boss once you get to 16, and Sanctification is great for fighting on the boss if it doesn't get interrupted as well. They have plenty of interrupts on the side of Divine 9, and Leoric, Tyrael, they just get annihilated by, like, these low CC frontliners get really annihilated by Sonya. She just tears through them. Like, she's not threatened at all. So I think if they get to the late game, then RollOne will have the edge, but otherwise I think Divine 9.
Well, this is a map that tends to go to the late game, and just stick with me at this. Enhanced Wraithwalk at 13, denying the damage from Hanzo.
Oh, yeah.
Watch it. This is a hard engage comp, and I can't wait for those post level 13 fights, level 16 fights. But here we go. On the side of RollOne Esports in the blue trunks. Zad, gonna be on Tyrael. Big Beard on the solid gold Leoric. Toff's gonna be a little Santa Kharazim Claus. Velvet gonna be playing Greymane, and MJ Doom on Li Ming.
And on the right, we have Divine 9. Judge Brett on the Sonya. Dendy Smasher on the Falstad. Ribley on the Hanzo. Jason on the Lucio. And Denkstrom on that ETC.
And heading here into game number 1, Hanzo already starting to do that poke. We are seeing Greymane potentially looking for maybe a jump over the wall. Big Beard going to step up, use that skeletal swing for some wave clear, as we pull up the talents here. Nothing too surprising level 1. Worth noting, of course, Iron Fist on Kharazim. Actually, Regen Master on Tyrael. I have not seen that talent in a long time. Sonya on bot lane going for the War Paint.
It's definitely not the easiest map to get globes on, and that's definitely something you really need to take in mind when you take Regen Master. And the smite damage is pretty strong. It usually just bumps up his damage so much on level 1 Tyrael, but I guess they just want more frontline to deal with this like armor degeneration from Hanzo and like the sustained damage.
And this Leoric-Sonya matchup, always very interesting, because when Leoric lands as W, the best thing you can do on Sonya is dive Leoric, which is weird, but that's how it is. And in that case, Judge Brett actually backing up because he didn't have E-off cooldown. One thing I want to note, Falstad went Seasoned Marksman. That typically lends itself to more of a split push style. As Falstad comes to cover bot lane, Sonya already working on the camp. Both teams, very, very solid camp rotations by both Velvet and Sonya. Velvet going to get his a bit earlier, but later can actually sometimes be a bit better here, although we might see early bruisers before the Shrine phase starts.
Yeah, and RollOne actually kind of wins the RNG lottery, potentially, just because the Tribute is bottom and their Siege Giants are going to push top. So, but they did capture him pretty early, as you said, so potentially Divine 9 can just clear him up and not really have them be a factor before the Tribute comes.
Well, the other part they got lucky was because it's in bottom and Falstad had to rotate down to cover for Sonya. Well, that means Falstad can't abuse Global up in this top lane. And actually, these Siege Giants starting to get a lot of pressure. They're already pushed up. Ridley gonna force to rotate up and help clear this. Falstad now burning his fly to go to mid to clear that lane so Hanzo can rotate. So, kind of a macro advantage there, but one thing different, Leoric is gonna have a harder time clearing up these Siege Giants. Doesn't do the best against camps. Let's see what happens as we get the warning bell for tributes. Looks like RollOne keeping 3 people up in this top lane. Maybe wanting to go for a structural advantage? No, they're starting to rotate. But a great aggressive rotation by Dankstrom to dismount, making sure his team's going to get to this point first. Now, Tyrael should be able to poke it out, but let's see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, I think they definitely could have maybe just pushed bot and delayed the Tribute, because they really do have a pretty strong sieging composition with Greymane and even like Karazim as a support up there. Those 2 heroes at least.
Hanzo stayed top. But despite this fact, ETC has done such a good job that his team still has better position on the point. Zad having to play extremely aggressively. Here's ETC onto the backline. Could power slide onto Zad. There it is. Focus now onto Zad. Blows the shield. Sonya coming in with the slam. Zad gonna go down. Velvet gonna be close to follow. Some blow up damage, but gonna be fairly inconsequential. Big Beard not able to get the soak in the meantime. Hanzo now starting to rotate down to join this, getting a last bit of soak. And already about half a level lead over Divine 9 and the Tribute as Karazim gonna have to Radiant Dash to get out of there. Now a 5-man push. This is a very aggressive play, and I like the thought behind it here, trying to get pressure.
Yeah, they definitely showed the power of ETC in these tight corridors. You know, AoE stuns obviously is mosh pit as well, but he has AoE stuns just in his base kit that can punish people grouping up in these tight corridors as they did there. You got a double stun, and that really opened the fight well in Divine 9's favor.
Yeah, but they left the lane and to go get camp, to go get lane pressure, leaving Sonya alone bot, and Sonya's actually pretty low health. And R1E could have pushed in, I think, a bit there and maybe gotten some tower damage. They're going to go ahead and just pick up their bruisers instead, leaving Kara in this lane. Little bush party going down here. Why wasn't I invited? As Greymane Falstad going to be up in this top, but once again, Falstad not going to be able to really abuse Global to get to this Tribute, but this is a Global that definitely favors Divine 9 positionally.
For sure, and they're going to have this camp. I guess both teams are going to have the camp, so we'll see which team will maybe take advantage of the spell armor. Yeah. I mean, the Tribute positioning definitely favors Divine 9, and it might just even mean that RollOne completely gives us up here.
Yeah, not even wanting to really deal with it. Trying to soak out the lanes, get some camp pressure. I like this call with as much zone control as there is with the Falstad, with the Hanzo, with the Lucio. Giving it up, but now boss being started up here while Sonya and ETC, they play the role of Magician's assistant. All about that distraction. And this is going to be a free boss. Yeah, they're gonna pick up the boss. No problems here. That's going to be a boss in the top lane.
But it's working out really well, I guess. Early boss isn't going to do a ton of siege pressure, but it just delays the RollOne for so long. It's going to force somebody to come up there.
Yeah.
Maybe they can get some advantages in other lanes.
And now it looks like Greymane's going to go up to handle the boss, but still pressure coming in, trying to abuse that spell armor now, trying to get some fort pressure mid, but I think the boss potentially could do a lot more damage, and Velvet in an awkward position where it's going to be very hard to engage. Now, he does build up that cocktail talent, and that's going to be important for him to get, but going to have to rotate around the long way, and that's going to be, with this boss, it's going to be very, very hard for R1E to just fight for this shrine. And that's going to be the fort going down. Velvet in a bit of an awkward place as well. Meanwhile, Leoric going to be rotating late with Sonya. Sonya going to get up there a bit earlier. Level 10's picked up. And it looks like Divine 9 just macroed themselves a curse.
Yeah, they just... Yeah, pretty much. I mean, the early game's going really well for them. Not much that RollOne can do to stop this
Zad
first.
caught out, not able to get behind the wall. Barely gets behind the wall. 60-some health. My goodness. And 3 ultimates blown there, trying to get that kill and didn't get it. But the curse could allow them to push in. Looks like they're going to forgo that opportunity. Try to get fort pressure rather than keep pressure as they move in here. Sonya, though, going to stay top, going to force R1E to stay honest. But level 10's now being picked up. We do have Go for the Throat. We do have Sanctification. We do have... I like the Wave of Force there just to make sure ETC can't get the Mosh off. And there's the Entomb, 7-sided. Oh boy. I'm excited.
Yeah, that'll be an exciting blow-up if we see it. For sure. But Divine 9 choosing to really count on some siege pressure here or some kills instead of soaking.
Ooh, and there's the Entomb Power Slide, but the 7-sided strike. Mosh gonna get interrupted. Sanctification by Tyrael just to deny the counter engage. And there's execution number 1, but Judge Bread on this cursed fort and on this cursed keep, excuse me, gonna do a lot of damage. Rotation coming in, starting to back off. Oh, did Sonya leave in time? She did not. There's the dismount. Li Ming coming in, trying to whirlwind, just stall it out as long as possible. That is one Death Barbarian, but in the meantime, once again, playing the role of Magician's assistant. Hey guys, want to go take boss? You're about to get a Rude Awakening.
Yeah, and the team with much less or much worse boss control is the one that's controlled the bosses so far. Just by being ahead in macro with this global and pretty strong camp pressure with Hanzo and Sonya.
And for all of that, yes, they got the kill on ETC. Yes, they got the kill on Sonya, but I mean, the map is just horribly against them. Top lane is pushed in. The keep can be breathed on. Like, Hanzo could just walk up and go, pew, and it's a dead keep. So they're effectively down really 4 structures now. And they have no curse tokens. So, they've made it to this mid part of the game where their abilities to execute is going to come online, but their macro game is still lacking, and it's going to be Lucio. Oh! We have a Lagif moment as Lucio goes down.
So close. I mean, you got the keep. Yeah, Lucio Auto is not the strongest.
So you have Hanzo, you have Falstad, you have Sonya, and the guy who goes up to kill the fort is Lucio. Alright.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Can't stop, won't stop. With that, strong top positioning here now. Gonna deal with this siege camp before it can really push up. Now, Zad needs to be careful. Is on Tyrael, is pretty hard to kill. Scattershot gonna miss. Dankstrom trying to cut off Tyrael's escape. There's the AoE. Oh, Tyrael trying to put on some jukes, but there's the chase. Now, 7-sided strike trying to zone. Zad actually getting caught in a friendly entomb, but there's the sanctification to interrupt the Mosh. Sound barrier, though, on the turnaround. Zad gonna drop. Sound barrier will mitigate a lot of this self-destruct damage. Now, Topps is gonna be the focus. There's the power slide. Face melt going to scare the kill. Leoric trying to get away. Leoric's going to go down on the chase. This is a dangerous situation now for R1E Esports. They need to get some map control, and instead Tyrael gets caught out, overextends, and now with Siege Camp and bottom, they're going to have to address that. That's going to be another curse token going over to Divine 9. They are playing very, very well in the macro right now.
Yeah, they're just completely dominating this early game, but now we see Leoric hopefully going into Omnis Wraith. That's just a talent that is one of the biggest power spikes, I think, in the entire game. Is not concerning heroics. It's just so insane the amount of damage you can prevent, and just it's almost its own form of survivability, just completely knocking out the other team's damage.
And shall we see who got their invite to the Bush party? Did Zad? Oh, Dankstrom going out, sees a tasty leaving. Now Velvet on the wrong side, away from the team. Mighty Gus just trying to scare to kill on Velvet, but good Jukes by Velvet, who now turns around a little bit low. There's the 7-sided. It's going to catch a couple. Entomb actually caught 3, but it's going to be enough to secure Sonya. Now Dengstrom on the wrong side, but Karazim going to go down. Now there goes down Leoric. Li Ming trying to get this kill. If she can just get that kill, she could get the resets, but it doesn't happen. Soundbarrier comes in to secure ETC survival. And once again, just kind of not the best approach to that fight. And R1E struggling to get, even when they get a kill, they are not getting the first kill, and they're not getting the resets on Li Ming to just let her pop off. And that's going to be an uncontested boss in the top lane going into core.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they need that first kill to be their kill. They can't be one of their own members dying, and that's unfortunately what happened that time. Tyrael kind of the front line of RollOne a little ahead of the backline not able to engage along with them, and they just got kind of chunked a little bit in the first place. And then
Li Ming
kind of a split fight from them.
Yeah, Li Ming and Greymane were heading high. The tanks were low and behind them, so Greymane got caught out. Separated a bit more by the Mighty Gust, really forced an engage in a choke point. They couldn't isolate a target with the Entomb. Just from there, it kind of snowballed a bit. Siege Camp going to be picked up to help with this push. With level 16s, you could see an attempt to maybe end. This boss still healthy and heading directly for the core. Got to be careful. Entomb trying to slow down this approach. Sonya, though, using the Poison Spear, getting over the wall. ETC trying to get onto MJ Doom, using the Face Melt. Big Beard gonna drop here. 7-sided comes down. There's the Sanctification, trying to keep everyone by sound barriers used so they can turn their attention to the core. The core has no shields at this point, and it's just getting absolutely chunked. The core is down to 50%. This is going to be a GG, and just such a well-played macro game by Divine 9. RollOne never got the combos they needed, but you know, had the right idea, just not the execution.
Yeah, they had the nice like CC into blow up side and Li Ming combo, go for the throat, but not able to connect quite to the execution that they needed.
Yeah, as the caster unplugs his mic for the stealthy sneeze, while on camera, so everyone can see it anyway. But a very strong first game by Divine 9. I like the comp idea from RollOne, but their execution just simply was not there. A lot of kind of poor movement that we really didn't see from them last season. They are saying they're taking a more relaxed pace, but we'll see if they can come back here and get a draw in game number 2, which will be on Battlefield of Eternity. We will see everyone in just 1 second. All right, and we are back here on the Nexus Gaming Series. Game number 2 between Divine 9 and RollOne Esports. Divine 9 proving the macro betters and the team fight betters in game number 1. Let's see if RollOne Esports can get it back here in game number 2. Looking to draw the series. Divine 9 looking to secure big 3 points and rip. So, we'll be right back.
With every death comes honor. With honor, redemption.
My blades are yours.
This realm needs me.
If both teams are kind of in a stalemate over the Immortals, and each team's Immortals on their own side, and it's a pretty strong poke. Obviously, you can definitely dive on this map and just grab kills, and Gleaming is really great in that, just hoping to snowball off kills and just good resets.
Yep, and apologies there for the NA production lull again. The sound is back now, but people in chat are gonna spam about it nonetheless, because no matter what I do, no matter what I type, you people slave the spam. Uther Mathael. Divine Souls. There needs to be a better name for that. I've been calling it Divine Souls, but it's a pretty strong combo.
Yeah, for sure. You can just, I mean, Malthael is already almost invincible if you don't CC him during Tormented Souls, and you can't CC anybody that's been Divine Shielded, that's for sure. You can just completely go on anybody, go on the entire team of Divine Nine and just completely dive them and not sustain them and just get so much value from that AoE ult and just holding down his Q.
And I love this. This shows scouting by Divine Nine. They know the tendencies. They're banning out the Alarak Diablo, which is something that they like. Going to be a Lunara ban, which is just because they want to go solo Uther. Now, Lunara, I think, could have worked there. I'm still expecting a Vala. Once again, Vala getting pretty late into draft here. Into this, one of the ways to counter this type of engage is just to try to win objective, and so going a Vala here that can burn the Immortal, I think, would be strong. The other way to counter it, though, could be something like Brightwing. Now, I know what you're thinking. How does that stop Divine Souls? It doesn't. But when the Divine Souls comes in, then you have the Emerald Wind to separate out everyone except Malthael. And so Malthael ends up dying as a result of that, because even though he has the Divine Shield, by the time it's over, he just gets turned around and deleted. There's the Anubarak. Now, Cocoon, that's going to be very, very important to this fight. If Malthael dies, but you Cocoon Uther before D-Shield comes out, Malthael dies. If Malthael dies and you Cocoon Malthael before Divine Shield comes out, Malthael likely dies, though not necessarily. And then there's Sylvanas, so there's their win harder, but I'm actually concerned about the Immortal burn on the side of Divine Nine.
Well, once they hit level 7, they'll have Barb Shot, I think it's called. Yeah,
that's true.
The PvE from Sylvanas as well, so that can definitely burn it quickly. But yeah, nobody really compares to Hanzo. Malthael is pretty strong as well.
Well, looking at the new map timings, though, because I do want to address that. You get an Immortal generally around level 5-ish, and then the next Immortal is almost always level, 11 now, barring just absolute failure by one team. So, at that point, you have level 10s, and now you're facing a Genji Dragonblade as well. So you need to be in a good position come level 10. And because that's where Sylvanas starts to lose her power, at level 10. So you need to be in a good position then. You're not going to get that level 7 talent for the first Immortal.
Mm-hmm.
And so, with the Malthael and Hanzo, I love RollOne Esports Comp, because you know they have to get a support here. And now what support do you get? I mean, you don't have the one you'd most want here, which is Uther.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean,
go ahead.
It's I think the Genji is really strong here. I think just this whole dive from RollOne is gonna wreak havoc on the backline of Divine Nine, especially because you have a Nubrak, but you can only cocoon one person. If you cocoons Malthael, then Genji just goes ham. If you do the opposite, then Malthael goes ham. I think they have quite a squishy backline on the side of Divine Nine, and it's gonna be easy to get resets, especially with this Divine Shield and Muradin assisting in the dive as well.
Yeah, and so they do have the Twilight Dream. I think that was the right choice.
That's true.
Just real quick, making sure we didn't have any banned skins. We didn't. Good teams, very good teams. But Malfurion doesn't help. So Malfurion gives them some kind of counter post 10. But and so Anubarak is kind of squishy, so Anubarak can actually die to the dive. Sonya can get CC'd by Uther and Muradin to interrupt Whirlwind. I think if this gets to level 10, unless Jason has the perfect Twilight Dream every single fight, it could get away from them. But I will say this, execution-wise, one of the teams was much better last game. And that team was, in fact, Divine Nine. So we'll see what happens here as we jump into map number 2 between these two teams. RollOne Esports, Zad gonna be on Muradin, Velvet gonna be on that Genji, Velvet is on, which hero is that? Hanzo. Sorry. MJ Doom on Genji. All you Shamadas look alike. Toph's gonna be on Uther, and Mango gonna be on Malthael.
On the right, we have Divine Nine, Dengstrom on the Anubrak, Ribley on the Li Ming, Jason on the Malfurion, Dendi Smasher on the Sylvanas, and Judge Bread on the Sonya. And we're going to see early push top. Divine Nine just completely catching RollOne off guard with the Sylvanas comp. They're going to be able to get a few towers maybe even here.
Yeah, and Mango not going to be able to really push anything back. Here comes the rotation, but they brought all 5. They didn't leave anyone bot for the Stoke, but Sylvanas staying way too late. What? Did you get an email where you all tabbed out? What happened there?
Yeah, I guess she just really wanted that tower there.
Yeah, now Muradin started to leave, walked into root there, took a lot of Li Ming poke as a result. Now Mathael going to rotate down, and it's interesting, Sonya is not going to be in the solo lane. It's going to be Anubarak in the solo lane. Oh my god, the bomb's about to go off. We're all going to die. Oh, wait, that's my timer. Never mind. Oops. I thought that was your phone. That was my timer.
No.
So I had a 10-minute timer when we had the DC, and then I forgot about it. So that's what that
It's like
was.
Hawaii.
Once again, though, big root onto Zad. Zad gonna have to back up. Let's go ahead and pull up those talents. I somehow ended up focusing Malfurion, so let's focus that minion. So that goes away. Looking at the talents, we do have the Third Wind. We do have the W talent from Hanzo. We do have Divine Light, or Wave of Light from Uther. Pathfinder. Interesting. And then Fear the Reaper being chosen by Mathael. So just trying to make sure that you have even more speed with that Divine Shield. On the other side, Innervate talent. So I'd been seeing the move speed talent on Malfurion being popular, but gonna go with the Innervate as Muradin gonna try to 1v1 trade, but now Genji ruining the 1v1 by jumping into it, but Zad needs to back off. Zad is actually gonna drop here. Zad does go down. Sonya's still on the point. MJ Doom trying to push Sonya off, but this just seems like outright stubbornness on the side of RollOne Esports, and they're gonna pay for it with their lives, and yeah, I don't know what that was.
Yeah, it was just an early camp that they can easily clear up after. I don't think they needed to hard engage that. I mean, I guess they were just banking on getting kills, but I don't think they could have in that situation. They were just too low. They just took that fight poorly.
I didn't know we were playing Hero League. Solo lane Sylvanas. Anyway, but already picking up the bruiser, so once again, good macro play, and I love this. Stall it out. Wait. Just wait. Get it right as the timer starts. You have the camp cleared, and you know now that you're seeing this, that RollOne's not going to get their clamp, although Anubarak a little bit out of position, going to try to burrow charge away. Is the chase there? No, they're not going to chase. I think it was a good decision there, but it was good restraint by RollOne because it could have been turned around on hard, but it is disappointing they didn't get that kill. But now Sonya a little bit out of position, but a huge burst onto Uther, who gets the lead. Now Uther just going to try to keep everyone alive in the ghost form for as long as he can. Zad is so low, getting the heals, getting the armor, Dwarf tossing away, but now Zad goes down. Velvet going to get chased by Li Ming. There's the orb, going to collect that. The reset's hitting. Li Ming doing work, and a strong, strong start for Divine 9. They need the early game to go well, and the early game is starting to go very, very well.
Yeah, they're definitely going to be able to snowball that off with the assistance of Sylvanas here. They're going to take the pretty strong Immortal here, no matter what RollOne can do. And they're even struggling to clear up their own lanes. It's going to be tough for RollOne in this early game.
It is, and there's kind of a forced invade by Zad, but even if the whole team gets here, I mean, this Immortal is going to drop, and now it's going to be a full shielded Immortal, trying to get the stun. Judge Bread out of position! There's the stun by Uther! Genji! Gonna get this reset, gonna get the kill! Now here comes the chase. Except it's not.
Rip.
Rip the casting. Gonna head to bot lane, which is kind of unusual for the first Immort for Red to go bot, but that's just because they already softened up top with that Sylvanas. But, you know, with this setup, yes, it's a full shielded Immortal. It is a first more Zad in a little bit of a bad position. They start backing up. Gonna be able to get away. Ooh, there's a big root onto Zad. Zad just loves Mount Fruits, and so does Malthael. Oh, dear. And that was a very good root there by Jason. Really good zoning. Mouth panicked a bit. got rooted. Once again, a fantastic zoning root, and Muradin getting rooted in the air. This could be Muradin going down. This early game snowball just continues to build. Divine 9 on the warpath.
Yeah. RollOne not really giving ground when I think they maybe should. They're just kind of just dying one by one, and even early game that can be really punishing.
And Malfurion's still holding on to that root talent. If he picked the tree ant at level 7... Oh no, that was a level 4 talent. He had deep roots. Still hasn't picked his level 7 actually. Zad though, getting a little bit focused here. Velvet getting dove by Dengstrom. Sylvanas keeping this keep. This could be a 5-minute keep as Hanzo now going down as well. Mango, almost gets hit by Sonya's spear, but this is a 5-minute keep. 6-minute, excuse me, and they're moving on to the core. They're not done yet. This is still a very healthy Immortal, and with Hanzo down, the defense may not be here. The shields are down. It's down to 90%. In goes Genji trying to make something happen, but MJ Doom's not going to do it. It's down to 60%. Now Mango and Doom on the backside, but they're not going to be able to get it. This is going to be a 6-minute game. RollOne Esports will not let me cast anymore because that happened again. Unfortunate loss for RollOne. We said post level 10 it was gonna get ugly. Well, that's how you solve that problem. Goodness. Well, there we go.
Show the power of Sylvanas, just able to just snowball an early game Immortal take and translate that into the entire game.
Yeah, that was unfortunate for RollOne. Once again, just kind of all these little mistakes cost them a lot in the macro game. And on Battlefield of Eternity, getting caught a little bit of cost in the macro game turns into a lot of cost on the macro game. But we're going to see if we can get a post-game interview here with Divine 9. So just give us 1 sec to set that up. We'll be right back.
I'm here with you, Jay.
All right, and we're back. We are joined by Jason and Dengstrom from the winning Divine 9. How are you guys feeling after that win?
Amazing.
Pretty confident. Well, that went well. It went exactly how we planned. Both games did.
Yeah, very very strong game. I mean, you guys, it seems you really scouted out what this team likes to do and had answers for it. It was well done. Have you done much scouting on RollOne heading into this match?
Yes, kind of. Like me and Judge Brett have actually played with all those guys for probably going on a year and a half now before in other modes and other games. So we did a little bit of scouting, watched their other prior week games, but what was the guy's name? Mango is one that's well known to us for all Iraq play. So
yeah, it was something that I've actually gone against with them on Battlefield of Eternity back in Season 2. So starting with game number 1, I mean, you guys really had strong macro on that map. Is that... And that turned into great opportunities for team fights. What was your strategy kind of when you saw their draft? What were you trying to avoid? What were you trying to take advantage of? Where were you going with there?
Jason, do you want to talk about that, or do you want me to?
That's all you, Dangstrom. You're the shot caller, man.
Okay. Mostly that was just making sure they had a much more late game team, so we want to snowball it early. So just prioritize camps, specifically bosses. We took Hanzo early with the option to do bosses depending on how their team comp went, and just realized we could, especially once we stack 2 tributes up, start stacking bosses on them, pull them away, start getting more advantages where we can.
All right. Yeah, you definitely were able to macro. Actually, I really liked, and I just want to compliment this. You were using Sonya and ETC as great magician's assistants. That is, hey guys, look over here. Look where we are in mid lane. Oh look, a poor overextended ETC and Sonya, while your team just nukes the boss. It was a really cool macro play that I just wanted to compliment.
Oh, well, thanks. Yeah, it worked out better than we had hoped, actually.
Yeah. And you guys had a pretty good shrine control. You did get the Entomb a couple times, but the one team fight top, I want to kind of point out, you guys really did a good job attacking kind of the out of position Greymane there, and using the Gust early in the fight. It's always risky to do that, especially when you're dealing with kind of that Leoric isolation style. Was that just kind of frantic, like, oh god, let's get Greymane, or was that, you just felt that strategically that was the best decision, or was it more just kind of, oh shit, it's the Greymane, let's kill him?
Now, the call
that was right where the
Greymane.
boss was at their top keep, right? And the tribute just hit?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that was just a snap call by Dindy.
Okay.
I'm not even sure, because I think we missed killing the Tyrael. I think he might have got out of it, but maybe we got the Greymane.
All right, so heading to game number 2, Jason, new Furion. Yes. How do you feel?
I feel like he's got a lot higher skill ceiling now. That's why we're kind of seeing his win rate go down, like in the general populace. But I think that his upsides are enormous. He's definitely starting to head towards win more. Not quite Sylvanas levels of win more, but he's really hard to play from behind. That's really the big factor for him. But as far as sustain goes, he keeps you in the fights longer. He keeps you able to stay in lane longer. And we've used him a couple of times to pair with the Ming because some of those heroes are just so mana dependent. And that's one of the things that, didn't get nerfed, was a lot of those kind of utility. And Malfurion brings that and the roots and the silence. It's all really good.
Now I have a bit of a more important question. Jason, game number 2. Why you pick level 7?
I would be totally honest with you, man. I was so focused on the fact that we were heading through that bottom and just keeping people healed. I just forgot. I just didn't pick it. And, we had this laser focus going, and my main focus was just getting the roots down, in the way of them rotating back through their gates and trying to help set up for everybody else, and just keeping those Qs locked in on everyone. And I just straight up forgot.
Were you guys thinking that prior to or going into that bottom push that you're going to go core, just get picks and end with Sylvanas?
No.
It wasn't the plan, and especially since we were a little distracted from like that weird Muradin flying thing when he was in the root. Did that show up on your guys' stream like it did on our streams?
Yeah. I mean, that's, his root does not make him unstoppable. And he clipped kind of the corner of that. It did look weird, but there is a Reddit post today about there's a Reddit post like every day, someone who discovers for the very first time that Muradin can't jump over Malfrits. And it's always kind of like, today you're one of the 10,000 learning the new thing.
There we go.
I do want to say, by the way, your roots were just fantastic. They had great zoning, really initiated a lot of kills. So well done there. Looking ahead now, looking at the rest of Season 3, looking at Division B West, where do you guys see yourself in Division B West? Now sitting at, I believe, at 5 points. Where do you see yourself? Do you see yourself as a playoff team?
I think we're going to be in the running for that for sure. I think we're going to learn a lot about how we do when we go against Conflict this week. I feel like they're also one of the top teams in the division, so I think we're going to learn a lot off of that. I think Amazing is probably the best team in the division, and we don't play them until the last week, so I feel like that is going to be a sizing up point for us more than anything.
Yeah, Jason's being polite. We should be right in there. So we feel pretty strong. Jason said the same thing I think earlier tonight. Or no, we feel we'll be right near the playoffs, and that we're disappointed we didn't come out of last week with 6 points. We only came out with 2. We should have come out with 6 and see where it goes from there.
Yeah, Team Conflict is actually one of those teams. They were kind of a perennial lower tier Division B team for season 1 and 2, but made a lot of really good roster decisions. Really changed up their practicing and how they did it. And it showed. I mean, Quantaka, who's been with the team forever, is playing extremely well now. Takanami, who's been there forever, is playing extremely well. And their new roster changes are working out very well for the team. But good luck against them. Thanks again for being the cap of this triple header. Mocrates, any last questions?
Just well played, and yeah, thanks for playing. It was a fun game to watch, and hope to do more in the future.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for the cast, guys. Appreciate it.
Happy to have it. All right, well, Mocrates, thanks for doing this triple header with me. I didn't know 4.5 hours of casting. Now 4 hours at this point. It's a lot, but had a lot of fun. Thanks for doing it with me.
Yeah, it was fun, man. Thanks for having me on your stream.
All right, where can people find you, Mocrates?
You can find me at twitch.tv/Mocrates, MACHRATES. Yeah.
Put it on the screen for him.
All right, just give me a second.
No, it's on the screen.
Oh, okay.
There's a 2-minute delay, so you won't see it. Sorry. All right.
No problem.
Any shout-outs or anything?
Just shout out to you and to Nexus Gaming Series. Thanks for having me on, and it was fun. Hope to do more in the future.
All right, and I'm DB Smiley. You can find me obviously here at twitch.tv/DB Smiley. Hopefully I'll have an emote soon. But getting that underway, and then check it out, Nexus Gaming Series, nexusgamingseries.com. We have a Discord channel. You can jump in. Obviously, Season 3 signups are closed. Season 3 is in Week 2 now. But Season 4, just a few short weeks away. So start getting your team together and join it if you're interested. It's a lot of fun. Additionally, if you want to get into casting, worth checking out as well. With that, you can also follow me at twitter.com/deathbysmiley. I'm going to be tweeting a lot about HGC this coming weekend. Going to be a lot of fun. Can't wait for the season to get underway. As well as you can use that to see when I'm going live with my Nexus Gaming Series casts. Currently, I don't know when my next cast is, but I have been enjoying it. So, just hit that follow button if you're interested. With that, I'm going to actually kick you over to a fellow Nexus Gaming Series caster who is casting some Division B action as well with a host. So thanks for watching. Hope everyone had a great time. Thanks for bearing with some of the technical difficulties. And we'll see you next time on the Nexus Gaming Series. Take care. I forgot the host command.